All right, all right. Hello, everybody. Hope you all are doing well. Super excited. It is day 5 of our Operation Pro Cheer Challenge. If you can, just make sure, I just want to make sure that I can hear you and that you can hear me. So in the comments, if you could, go ahead and type something in. Just let me know that you can hear me and we are good to go. So just want to make sure I'm not talking to myself. So as you can see, very excited. We are going to have Jayante on in just a little bit. She is a professional cheerleader for the Baltimore Ravens. She is just an incredible person from the inside out. She is a mom. She is, a full-time, employee. She is a doer, doer, doer. So really excited to be bringing her on probably in about 20 to 30 minutes. So hopefully we've got more people on. Yay, I see a lot of people starting to join now. So if you can, just let me know that you can hear me and we are good to go. All right, awesome. So it seems like we are all set and you all can hear me. So that is definitely a plus there. So let me just give you all a quick recap just in case you have not been with us the entire week. We have had a lot of fun. We've given out some amazing prizes. We announced our 2 scholarship winners last night. But we have literally been going through this entire process of our game plan to go pro. So this challenge is all about helping you set up a game plan so that you know exactly what you can be doing, the steps that you can be taking, the progress that you can be making toward your goals and your dreams of becoming a professional cheerleader. So we've touched on these major components. Tonight is all about the mindset. It's obviously, my favorite topic of all times. But then we're also really going to talk about other things and get an additional feedback and all of that on our bonus sessions. And I'll be telling you about those that are coming up on Monday and Tuesday. Also tonight, obviously, I'm going to be announcing the winner, our day 5 winner of, people that showed up last night and did their homework. And then we're going to open up a Q&A as well with our special guest so that she can, answer any questions that you have as well. Now, day 1, we talked about, the preparation process and the importance of making sure that you have a game plan and you've done your research and that you're doing all of the things to properly prepare for auditions. Super, super important, obviously, to make sure that you do that. Day 2, we talked about making sure that you are calendar ready, right? And making sure that if you are calendar ready, that will help you get noticed and be seen. So we really talked about the importance of being the full package and focusing on your appearance and your performance, your uniqueness, your confidence, and just having fun, because all of those elements will really help you make sure that you get noticed. And the first one that I said was appearance. And that was day 3. We're really talking about the importance of fueling your body the right way so that you can be calendar ready. So really living a healthy lifestyle and making sure that you are doing the right things and fueling your body in the right way. So we should be good to go, kind of moving forward just with day 1, 2, and 3. Then we talked about dancing like a pro, right? Making sure that you understand all of the elements of freestyle, so that you aren't, nervous about that. And then what you can be doing from a research standpoint to make sure that you know what you need to have prepared and ready for auditions as it relates to dance. And then, like I said, tonight is our mindset discussion. And so again, this is pretty much the path that we take all of our lovelies on. We not only let them know what they need to do in each of these categories, but how to actually do all of these things. The other thing that we did was we really discussed and we showed you last night freestyle and the different elements as far as being like more of a beginner with no technique, and then we added in technique and the importance of just making sure that you're super comfortable with that, because dance and obviously your appearance are the top 2 areas on the judges score sheet. In addition to that, last night we did go ahead and discuss with you all, and we opened officially up enrollment to our Pro Cheer Playbook program. And so I want to just quickly go over just some of the, top things. I'm not going to go over the entire presentation. You can definitely watch the replay, and I highly recommend you do that because enrollment is open. The application process is open. We talked about everything that you receive by being a part of the Pro Cheer Playbook program. We went over the bonuses. You get a free accountability session with your accountability coach to discuss your roadmap on exactly what you need to be doing. You get a nutrition and fitness session with Jeanette, and you get a free ticket to our annual Pro Cheer workshop. You get 20% off of all of our one-on-one sessions, our group workshops, anything else that's not included in the Pro Cheer Playbook program. You do get a discount on all of that. And you get access into our private Facebook group for our graduates. And so those were just the bonuses. And as you can see right here, this is everything that you received. So again, it's super, super important that you watch that replay if you were not able to join us last night, so that you can get in detailed information about all of these items. But overall, as you can see from, the assessments, the workshops, the training courses, the Zoom live check-ins, the status check-ins with your coach, your one-on-one sessions, the community, the Facebook group, the accountability, the challenges, all of that stuff, almost $6,000 in total value. And then in addition to that, we have some amazing bonuses. You get unlimited and lifetime access to the Fit with Jeanette bootcamp workouts, as well as 1 year access to our Pro Dance Academy. And that comes with unlimited feedback for that entire year. So here are just a couple of screenshots from the bootcamp. Here's some screenshots from our Pro Dance Academy. We have technique from beginner, intermediate, advanced, and flexibility. And this is just a screenshot of one of the videos. We literally break down every single thing that you need to know from a technique standpoint. And when you add in those bonuses, the value of the program is well over $7,000. And I want to just make sure that everyone remembers that that is not the financial investment. It is not even half of that. So I do not want you all to let money stop you from, pursuing your goals, pursuing your dreams. We do have payment options available. We have a 12-month pay and an 18-month pay. So we want to make sure that you can, really fit this into your budget and be comfortable while receiving all of the benefits of fast tracking your way to success. The other thing, just to let you all know, is that this is what you'll create. You're going to have an advantage over others. You're going to be able to fast track your way to success. You're going to have knowledge of not only what you need to do to prepare, but how to do it and how to do it right. You're going to have increased confidence, an improved mindset, and you're literally going to be prepared, polished, and confident for your next audition. And then you're going to make lifelong friends because we love each other. And so last night I was just asking, if you join our program and all it did was just get you started on the process, if all it did was just increase your confidence, and all it did is just get you excited and ready for auditions, or help eliminate fear and frustration and doubt, and make sure you don't live a life of regret, would it be worth it? And overwhelmingly, everyone in the comments was like, yes, 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 yes. So my question for you all that are now here live with us, super excited to have you guys. But I mean, what are your thoughts? Are you ready to make this a reality? Are you truly ready to decide that you're going to put yourself first and level up and become a professional cheerleader and literally have the best coaches ever in support of you, helping you along the way? And so hopefully, in the comments, I'm going to see some yeses. I'm ready, because we want to make sure that we're here every single step of the way for you. So it is by application only. We do have limited spots, but there aren't any requirements to apply. We don't ask you for a photo. We don't ask you for your background, none of that stuff. We just want to make sure that you have the time to put in the program and that you are committed to the process. And because you all are participants of the Operation Pro Cheer Challenge, you will automatically be accepted to round 2 of the process, the Get to Know You call. So all you have to do is, when you're filling out your application, just say, hey, I am a Pro Cheer, Operation Pro Cheer Challenge participant. Move me to round 2. And then that way you'll automatically be accepted for that call. Also, just so you know, we do have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. So when you apply to be a part of this program and you do everything that we ask you to do, if you do not make a pro or semi-pro team within the first year after graduating from our program, then I will personally put you back into our program whenever you are ready within the next year for free on me. That's how confident we are in what we do. So who is the program for? I kind of went over this quickly last night. Action takers, people that want guidance, people that are willing and ready to invest in themselves and are 100% committed to the process. Who is the program not for? Whiners, complainers, excuse makers, and anyone who's not 100% committed. And I just want to be upfront and blunt about it, because it's important to us that we get the right people in this program. Okay. The other thing is kind of like, well, what do you do? There's 2 different options that you have here. You can take the information that we're giving you over the course of this challenge and take action on it immediately. We want everyone to do that. We literally want you to take the action steps that we have given you over the last 5 days, and we have 2 more coming up for you, and we want you to take action on all of it, right? The other option is to go ahead and apply for the Pro Cheer Playbook program. Get on the phone with us. Let's see if it's a right fit for both of us. And then let us help you become pro cheerleaders. Let us help you fast track your way to success. Let us take the guesswork out of the process and out of the game. Okay. So just so you know, it is a 4-month content commitment. That basically means that you will receive all of the content within the first 4 months of the program, but we actually knew this year we're extending the program to an entire 12 months. That way you have an entire 12 months of support, an entire year of support from us, from all of the accountability coaches, where you actually have an entire year to get feedback on any and everything that you want. So that means that if for some reason you don't, one audition season comes and it doesn't work out for you, you can still be in the program and get feedback from us through the next audition session, okay? And participate in all the challenges and do all of the things throughout the course of the year. You're also going to get immediate access to our private Facebook group, our Sideline Success portal, and just so you know, we officially kick off next month, okay? So here is the link. So if you have not already applied, I want to make sure that you all do that. There's no need to wait. Just go ahead. We would love to hop on the phone with you and talk to you, obviously answer any questions that you have. Applications are open and we are ready to get started. We are literally ready to help you go pro, okay? So really quick, let me know in the comments, say, I am ready. I am ready to go pro, or I am a pro cheerleader. Whatever you are feeling right now, I want you to put it in the comments. Let me hear from you. Let me see what's on your mind. Put it in the comments. Would love to have some interaction from you guys. So excited to see so many of you all on a Friday night nonetheless. So thank you so much for being here. You could be probably a million other places on a Friday night, but you are here. So thank you so much. All right. So I did talk about the motive sessions that we have coming up on Monday. We are going to be talking to one of our gents who is a part of the Pro Cheer Playbook program. He has made so many strides in getting prepared and doing the things that he needs to do to, really just go after his goals and his dreams of becoming a professional cheerleader. So he's going to talk about his journey, and I think it would be really good to hear from a gentleman's standpoint on how this process works as well. And then on Tuesday, we're going to have 2 of our coaches come in. Coach Shelby, she was a former Top Cats as well as a former Honeybees cheerleader, and then also Barbara, who was a cheerleader for the Castles as well as the First Ladies of Football. All right, so that's what we have coming up. Let me just check in to see if we have any questions coming up in here. And Lindsay, good job, because you put questions in all caps. That is awesome. Is it possible to set up payments to pay in full before beginning of the program? Yes, you can definitely set up payments. Like I said, we have a 12-month pay, and then we also have an 18-month pay, and then we also do have a pay in full option as well. And with the pay in full option, there are a couple of benefits, like you get your accountability, your first choice of your accountability coach. No matter what, you will get your number 1 selection for your accountability coach. And then you also get access to all of the trainings up front. You don't have to wait every single week for a new training to be released. And in addition to that, you can get started on your Pro Dance Academy. You get immediate access to the Pro Dance Academy, so you don't have to wait for that. And you also get immediate access to the instructions for your Pro Cheer assessment. That way you don't have to wait for your Pro Cheer assessment, okay? So I think that's all of the questions. I am super excited. Let's go ahead and dive into the content all around mindset. And kind of, before we do that, and as you're getting out your workbooks, again, just allow this to be your time. Allow this to be, time for yourself to really just focus, because in my opinion, mindset is the most important thing for not just Pro Cheer, but for your entire life, right? So as you can see on our kind of path to go pro, the very first thing that we cover is mindset and confidence. And that is because, like I said, in my opinion, it is the foundation of who you are. It's the foundation of everything. And it is so important. If you don't know how to control your thoughts and control your mind, and if you don't realize that it is possible for you and that you can do all of the things that you want to do, then it's just not going to happen for you. It's almost impossible to have negative thoughts and then receive positive outcomes. Okay. So it's really important that you all understand that. And just kind of to make sure and kind of underscore the importance of mindset and the shifts that you can have in such a short period of time, I just want to show you just a couple of, screenshots with, just people talking about their transformations from a mindset standpoint. So good morning, ladies. This is my first post in our group in a long time. It's well overdue. When our program started, I had a domino effect of unfortunate events happen that took a toll on my health. My way of coping was to pull back. I lost all hope and motivation. I was so disappointed in myself for giving up on this program at that time that had completely checked out mindset. That resulted in weight gain, minimal energy, and overall a personal toxic lifestyle. I knew I needed to pull myself up, dust myself off, and continue working toward the goal the little girl in me has always dreamed of achieving. Seeing each of your posts has been so inspiring and truly helped me gain the courage to not give up. About a month ago, I had a call with my coach that changed everything for me. Thank you, Heather. I started Jeanette's workouts consistently, and yesterday morning I checked in to see my progress. I wanted to share with all of you. For anyone that is struggling mentally, physically, whatever it may be, you are not alone. I am always here if you ever need someone or a listening ear. I cannot wait to see everyone's result at the end of this program. I'm so excited to be an active part of this program until the end. So, I mean, just amazing, like her kind of understanding that she wasn't where she needed to be, and then realizing, wait, I can get out of this. I can totally get out of this. Here's another one. It basically says, self-confidence has definitely been a struggle and quite the journey, but I can happily say I'm getting there. You know how everyone has their own like hype song or just a song that makes them feel super positive, like you can conquer the world? Well, for me, this dance journey, I always listen to Moment for Life by Nicki Minaj. So again, just kind of thinking about the fact that, you know, hey, we have our ups and downs, but it is about making sure that you conquer your thoughts and that you get control over them. So this is Gabby, my makeover marathon. Aside from losing 15 pounds, the one thing I am so excited to have finally gained is self-confidence. Everyone in this group is so supportive, kind, and incredible. I will leave this program feeling prepared, inspired, and so excited for the future. Thank you to all of the amazing people in this group. I cannot wait to hear about everyone's pro cheer and life successes far beyond when the program ends. This just gives me chills just reading them. Erica says, I want to quickly reinforce the idea of a positive mindset. Today I was practicing my turns. I used to be an amazing turner, but with not practicing as much over the years, I'm not as good as I used to be. So after falling out about 1,000,000 turns, I walked up to the mirror and practiced some positive verbalization. And this is one of the tactics that you all will learn in the Pro Cheer Playbook program. I had a rough week with my confidence in eating, but today starts a new week, and you ladies continue to inspire me. Keep up the amazing work. You all are so inspiring. And here's another one, just talking about after the workshop, wanted to express my love and gratitude for all of you. This group has taken me through my hardest days of quarantine and has been there for my happiest milestones. I had a call with Jeanette on May 8th, and I was 148. In February 2019, I was 151. She challenged me to lose 10 to 15 pounds. Today, I'm 133. I am a more confident and stronger woman with the help of all of you, my coach Megs, my accountability partner Renee, Janine Samuels, and the Fab Five. I truly am a different person. I cannot wait to tell you all when I make a team one day. Thank you to everyone for changing my life for the better. I love you guys. Okay, so I'm going to pause it here because there are a couple more, but I think hopefully you all get the point of when you come into this program, you leave a completely different person. You leave a completely different person. It's not just about making a team. For me, that is the cherry on top. For me, it is about, you know, changing you from the inside out. And that is what is, you know, for me personally, most important. Okay, so let's go ahead if you can. We're going to go over our mindset makeover and fill out your workbook here and get you going to make sure you have all of the answers. So this is day 5. Like I said, this is our mindset makeover. And mistake number 5 is, you know, quite frankly, just a lack of faith and confidence in yourself. Okay, so just straight up, it's just not having that faith and confidence in yourself. And so in the comments, just put, you know, are you a victim of that? Has there ever been a time when you didn't have faith in yourself, that you were low on confidence, that you had doubts and you had fears? That is completely and totally normal. So do not worry about that. We all go through it. But the important thing is that you have tools and techniques to be able to help you get out of it. Okay. So the next pro tip here is you must have unwavering faith that you can do it and back it up with extraordinary effort. Okay, so you must have unwavering faith that you can do it and then back it up with extraordinary effort. Okay, so those are literally the 2 things that you need to create a miracle. And that's the prize that we're giving away tonight is, it's actually right here. literally my favorite book ever, is The Miracle Equation. And it basically talks about, I don't know if you can see there, but it says, in order to have a miracle, you need unwavering faith and extraordinary effort. And I talk about this all the time because I truly believe in everything that he says in this book. If you don't have faith in yourself, and if you don't believe that you can do it, then you won't be able to do it. But if you believe that you can, you can. And so it really starts with the mindset. It really starts with your confidence. It really starts with the faith that you have in yourself. And then once you have that and you're good to go there, then you just have to put action behind it. You just have to take one step at a time, one day at a time. Okay. So literally, it doesn't need to be more complicated than this, right? It really doesn't. Like, obviously there are habits and techniques and tools and all that can support this, but it really is as simple as having unwavering faith in yourself and then having, putting forth extraordinary effort. Okay. So how do you do that? You have to master your mind. So how do you have unwavering faith and extraordinary, and then have the faith in yourself, but then the wherewithal to be able to go ahead and take action? Quite simply, in all honesty, you just have to master your mindset. And when you master your mindset, then literally anything is possible for you. Okay. So kind of just keep that in mind, is it doesn't, again, have to be that complicated. But your mind, I'm telling you, is a tricky thing. It really is. And so if you aren't a master of your mind, then it does show up in numerous ways in your life. And everything in your environment and everything that you have kind of manifested is a result of your thoughts and the result of the health of your mind. Okay. And so it really is very, very important just to make sure that you do master your mind. Okay, so let's quickly go through these. This is going to be our hashtag mindset makeover. So how are we going to do this? So how do you master your mind? So number one, what we recommend is that you not just think positive, but you think, feel, and you be positive. Okay, so everyone understands thinking, right? So you think positive. So I can sit here and be like, okay, I am strong. I am strong. I am strong. I am an action taker. I'm an action taker. I'm an action taker. Okay. Well, that's not going to be as powerful as if you feel what it feels like to be strong, to be empowered, to be an action taker, to be a pro cheerleader, and then to be that type of person, to have the habits of that type of person, and to truly say, this is who I am. And so the other night we talked about, saying, I am a pro cheerleader. I am a pro cheerleader. I am a pro cheerleader. You don't have to wait to be a pro cheerleader. You can be a pro cheerleader now. So we want you to think, feel, and be positive. Okay. Number two, practice positive self-talk and positive affirmations. So practice positive self-talk and positive affirmations. So self-talk is basically you talking to yourself. You can get in front of a mirror and you can say, you've got this, Janine. I know you can do this. You are so amazing. You are a pro cheerleader. You're going to have a kick butt day to day. And that's self-talk. Or it could just be you in the car and you are talking to yourself in a positive manner, okay? It's you giving yourself grace and being kind to yourself and having positive thoughts about yourself. And then affirmations, I think everyone knows the I am statements. So those positive things that you're saying to yourself, those I am statements are very, very important. As part of my morning routine, I journal sometimes, depending on the day, I switch it up, but sometimes it's just me writing I am statements over and over and over and over and over again, because it's something about writing them down that kind of reinforces the thought and the concept. And then I take it a step further by feeling it, like feeling what it feels like to be what it is that I say that I am. Okay. Number three, you want to visualize. So literally see yourself succeeding. You have to see yourself doing the thing, accomplishing the thing, achieving the thing that you say that you want to do and achieve and accomplish. So I do this normally at night when I am in bed. So after meditating, if I have not fallen asleep yet, then I will literally just close my eyes and visualize myself being at peace, having that dream home, being out at the pool on a nice sunny day, getting up in the morning and going through my morning routine, not snoozing, being an action taker. Like I literally visualize myself doing the thing that I want to do. I see myself, because here's the wonderful thing. Your brain is super sophisticated, but dumb at the same time. Okay. Your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and what's imagined. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what is actually happening in the physical and what you are dreaming to happen. Okay. That is why visualization works so well. My dad would always tell my sisters and I at night, especially like right before a track meet was the next day, to lay in bed and see ourselves winning the race, visualize ourselves winning the race. Like he would tell us that. And that's what athletes do. They use visualization to see themselves executing the race, the sport, whatever it is that they play, with excellence. And you can do the same thing for yourself. Okay. Up next, meditate and self-care. So meditation is a form of self-care, but then I also want you to think of other ways that you can, utilize self-care. So everyone knows what meditation is. There are tons of apps out there. I use Headspace. I also use Peloton, where you can have guided meditation. You can also get to the point where you can meditate on your own. Normally for me, meditation, 10 minutes, 15 minutes at a time, in the morning, first thing, or at night. Most of the time, recently it's been more at night to kind of just put my brain and my heart and everything at ease before I go to sleep. But then other self-care would include, taking a couple of hours and going to a day spa, getting your nails done, your toes done, getting a massage, going out for a walk, going to the pool, hanging out with your girlfriends, like whatever makes you happy. You want to make sure that you're incorporating that into your daily routine or into at least your weekly routine to help your mind recover and to help you kind of get in that Zen state so that you can truly master your mind. Okay. Another thing that I picked up a couple of years ago was self-hypnosis. And this isn't like some woo-woo craziness. It's just literally listening to, a guided self-hypnosis that really helps you to visualize the things that you want to accomplish. So that's another, tactic that I use that I have found a lot of success using. And then number 5, I know that you are going to be like, okay, how are you even going to put this in mindset? But properly prepare. Like I know that it was our day 1 topic, but when you go into any situation in life, knowing that you have crossed all T's and dotted all I's and you are prepared for that moment, it's going to positively impact your mind. Without a doubt, you're going to walk into that situation and show up more confident, and your mind is going to be ready to take on whatever life throws at you or whatever that situation throws at you. So being properly prepared really does help you with your confidence and your mindset. So here's the last one here on this page. Remember, fear, doubt, and uncertainty creep in. It's just your mind trying to keep you safe and in status quo. That is what happens to all of us. And when I learned this was like a light bulb moment for me, because I realized that there wasn't anything wrong with me. Like I used to think, like, why am I not motivated to get up and do this? Why do I have so much fear? Why am I doubtful? Like, why don't I want to take a step forward? Like, why am I letting this situation get the best of me? Why do I feel like I can't do this? It's not just me that feels that way. All of our minds are programmed to protect us. All of our minds are programmed to keep us safe. And so what you have to do is basically just say, okay, mind, thank you, but no thank you. I am good. I know I'm feeling uncomfortable. I know I'm feeling uncertain. I know that there is doubt, but I'm okay with that. Because I know if I push through this, there is greatness on the other side of fear. There is greatness on the other side of doubt. There is greatness on the other side of uncertainty. There's greatness on the other side of me stepping out of the status quo and stepping out of my comfort zone. It really is so important that you get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because that's the only way that you are going to move forward in life. That is the only way that you're going to truly be able to get the results that you want out of life, if that makes sense. Okay. So super, super important that you just really show up for yourself and show up for your dreams and your aspirations, and understand and know that anytime fear, doubt, overwhelm, uncertainty, all of those negative emotions creep in, it literally is just your mind trying to protect you. That's all that it is. Okay. So hopefully all of that makes sense. We do have an entire, another page to go through, but I'm actually going to go through this after we get Jayante on here so that we can go ahead and start this conversation with her, because I think it's more important for you all to have the opportunity to ask her some questions, and then I'll come back to this content in just a bit. So I am going to go ahead and bring her on, and I am going to let her introduce herself because she could probably do a much better job of herself. So hello there. How are you doing? I'm so excited to see you.
Hello. Long time no see.
I know. It's been forever. Because the world was closed down, I didn't make it to a Ravens game. And so I didn't get to see you in action this season. And obviously we haven't had any workshops or anything like that in person. I love your t-shirt, the bling bling. How's your mom doing?
Oh, he's doing great. He's huge now. He literally looks like he's about like 6 or 7. But he loves what I do. He's very involved to the point where he takes the leader in Cheerleader too seriously, and he tells everybody that his mom is in charge of the Ravens. I found that out by accident. One of his teachers was like, "Why did he say this?" And I'm just like, "Oh, I'm not that important, I promise."
Well, to him, you are that important. So that is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take that. I'll take that. But he's making it seem like I'm some type of higher up or something, and I'm just like, no, wait, this is what it is, and this is what it isn't, just so that we don't get it misconstrued.
Oh my gosh, I love that though. That is wonderful, and I love that he's at an age that he understands sort of how big of a deal it is that his mom is a professional cheerleader for the Ravens. So let's talk a little bit about your journey, because this obviously isn't the first professional team that you've been on, and I would love for you to kind of just share your journey of maybe your dance background, the first team that you made, kind of what happened with that, and then how you ended up here.
Yeah, so I grew up dancing. My mom was a dancer, so she put us into dance as soon as we could walk. All my life, I've known dance. We didn't have the opportunity to really do any other sports. Senior year of high school, I tried out for my high school's cheerleading team just because I wanted more friends and I wanted to be a little bit more involved with, just the usual, high school status quo. So I tried out for cheerleading. I cheered that football season and I just really liked it. I didn't know that I was kind of foreshadowing, later on in my life when I started. But I definitely found a little niche there. So when I went to college, my freshman year, I was interested in continuing my journey as a cheerleader, which was a shock to me just because I always thought I would go the traditional dance route. I did ballet. I thought I was going to try to make some company. But no, cheerleading really stuck with me. I actually saw a audition for the Ravens flyer pop up onto my I think it was my Facebook timeline at the time. I didn't have a rhyme, reason, plan of action. Like I said, I had just started college. And for some reason I thought, you know what? Hey, I've been a dancer. I can obviously do this. So my mom actually drove me down. She actually was very supportive of the idea. It was kind of like an act now, think later type situation for the both of us, I think. Went to the Ravens audition. I actually did both the prep class and the audition, but I didn't really have a plan, not only for like what I would do if I made the team, but I didn't really have a plan for like how to navigate auditions successfully. I had no idea what the realm of professional NFL cheerleading was like. I just thought that my skills would get me in the door, and they absolutely did not. I was cut the first round. I didn't have, the look, the makeup I did myself. My hair was like a mess by like hour 1 of auditions. It was just all bad. But I didn't necessarily take that as a negative. I didn't take that negatively at all. I kind of knew that I was in over my head. So I went back to school. I went to school in Buffalo, and fortunately, Ravens have every year they have the first, like they're one of the first teams to host their auditions. So I had a little bit of time to regroup. And the Bills, who are in Buffalo, they had their auditions a little bit later on in that year. And I was very sold on, trying to do this NFL cheerleader, trying to reach this goal of mine. I did a little bit of research on the team. I was able to, get my audition apparel just because I had, from in mind what I saw from the first auditions, going to their prep classes and gaining more of an understanding. I was a lot more prepared. And I was able to pursue that team and make that team on my first try. So I was a freshman / first semester sophomore in college and an NFL cheerleader at the same time. It was an amazing experience. Like I said, I really feel at home when it comes to cheerleading and when it comes to performing in front of so many fans. I was able to continue my tenure with the Bills for 2 consecutive seasons. And it was just an amazing opportunity. But that door, it was time for me to move on with my life after that second season. Shortly after that, my child Malachi came, and my life kind of hit, a riff. I got very caught up into, mom life. And at some point I realized that, I danced all my life. I didn't dance all of my life for, this to be the conclusion of my journey. And I knew that I wanted to get back into it. But like I said, I haven't necessarily been the best planner. So I think Malachi was a year old, and I happened into an audition for Miami. Once again, no plan of action, no plan for their auditions, but I actually just ended up at their first round of auditions, and actually made it through a couple of rounds. They do a lot of cuts in one day. It's like an early Saturday, and by the end of that evening, they have who's going to boot camp, and then Monday starts boot camp. I was there all day, and I just really started to get into my head. I started to beat myself confidence-wise. There was a lot that played into why I felt like I wasn't being successful in those auditions, but for whatever reason, I didn't give them the opportunity to cut me. I cut myself essentially, and don't ask me why, because to this day I can't give you a reason. But I legitimately, they told us to go get water. This was the round right before boot camp, like cuts were made and the boot camp team was announced. They told us to go get some water. I just felt, like I said, I got very much into my head. I wasn't prepared mindset wise at all. And honestly, that was my biggest downfall. So they told us to go get water. I grabbed my bag and I left. And I kind of beat myself up about it for a long time, just because I would have rather them cut me. There's just so much ambiguity in walking out. Like, it could have went either way, and I will never know what would have happened if I would have stayed, but I just got that far into my mind about it. And I don't think that you realize how much your mental, this is what today's about, we don't realize how much your mental plays into this process. You know that you have to have a certain look, that you have to have certain skills and technicalities, but that mind piece, that mind game is 90% of it, and I wasn't aware of that at the time. So shortly after that, I was very, very, once I put in my mind that I want to do something, it's very difficult to change my mind. I knew that I wanted to get back into the pro cheer realm, but I also was able to, note that I'm not the best at planning and, following through on what I need to do to make these teams. So that's when I reached out to Janine. I believe, I saw one of the adverts for the workshop, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. So it just encouraged me to look into the program. I joined the program and was able to do that program, I believe, for 4 months before Ravens auditions. But I learned a lot about myself throughout that program. My biggest OFI opportunity for improvement has been confidence, and just maintaining that mindset. But I was able to kind of actually make the team before completing the program, which was pretty awesome. But during that time frame, I had a lot of interactions that just were so validating and, were essential to helping me establish that mindset, establish that confidence for myself. But I did make the Baltimore Ravens cheerleaders team in March of 2019. Time is like legitimately flying. And last year, I feel like it was just such a whirlwind. It's just all of a blur. But yes, March of 2019 was my rookie season. It was a great season for the Ravens. They've been doing pretty well. COVID hit last year. I was on the team for the 2020 season as well. However, the dynamic of the team and all of our commitments was changed slightly, just given the nature of, COVID. But I've been able to, remain engaged in any way that I can. And it's just been, a crazy experience. I didn't know years ago when I got cut that I would ever, come back and make that team. But it's just been so validating to kind of look back in hindsight and reflect on my journey. And a lot of that is due to, my interactions with Janine and the team at Sideline Prep. So I always love coming on here just because I can't thank y'all enough.
I love your story. One, because there was a lot of ups and downs, and there were, opportunities in there where you could have given up altogether and just decided like, okay, well, I've done this, I've accomplished this, so I'm good now. But you kind of pushing through all of that, and then, ultimately making the team that you originally auditioned for at the very beginning. But I also love your story because, you're a mom. And it's a reminder to other moms out there that it is very possible for you. And, maybe, you're here, but you don't even want to be a pro cheerleader, but there's something else that you want to accomplish. It is possible for you. So you can be a mom and still follow your own goals, dreams, and aspirations, and show your child or your children that it is possible. And the other thing about your story that I absolutely love is just your vulnerability and openness and sharing with people that you were not as tough on the inside as you wanted to be, and that you knew that your opportunity for improvement, and everyone, like she said, OFI, that's kind of like the language that you use in the program, because I don't consider it a weakness. I consider, what some people consider weaknesses to be an opportunity to improve. And so you were able to do that, right? So it is about language. It is about how we phrase things. It's not a weakness. It's just something that you can improve upon. And so one, just thank you for always saying yes whenever we're like, hey, can we interview you? And then two, for being so vulnerable about the mindset shift and the importance of, focusing on that. So talk, if you don't mind, a little bit about like just being in the program. Why do you think it was being in the community and working with us? Why did that help so much with that shift in mindset?
There's a lot of reasons. I think that the program, my first answer is that the program helps you to do a lot of, self-reflection in a lot of ways that you wouldn't necessarily think about, or at least I didn't think about on my own. Being able to, do things like my season or like the session that I did, the very first training was mindset. And I think that was, a huge epiphany for me, just because we do so much training, like I said, in so many other aspects when preparing for auditions, that there's so much that we overlook. And the fact that the program was able to provide such a full, not only full evaluation, but give you areas to improve in a lot of different ways, was very essential to me, and having the community to reach out to, because one of the biggest things in life, we're the way that we're social, creatures, and the best way to go through things is to go through them collectively. And having, being able to reach out to not only my accountability partners, but also girls who weren't necessarily my partners, but were in the group. And nobody knows what, like, there's just no way to explain being able to connect with people who know exactly what you're going through, because they're going through it too, because I have friends, family outside of the program that are there to support me, and trust me, they've done amazing things for me. But like I said, it's just an additional level of support when somebody's like, yeah, girl, I did this, round 2 of my auditions and things of that nature. And I actually carried on those relationships. A couple of the girls, Bethany and Julia, were on earlier this week. They were both in the same session as me when we were Pro Cheer Playbook Lovelies, and we've stayed in good communication since. We are always, going to dance classes together, following up with each other frequently. And that community has been very near and dear to my heart since day one. I know that my accountability partner, very early into the game, her name was Casey. My only concern was feasibility as a mom. Like, I know I had some semblance of confidence, I guess, when it came to myself, but now I'm entering this world again as an entirely different person, because now I have an entire human that I'm, responsible for. And one of our very first check-ins, I was like, she has a child too, and she was actually on, I believe, the Baltimore Blast at the time. And she was just like, Jay Auntie, just envision yourself with your child in uniform at M&T Bank Stadium. Imagine how that is going to make you feel, bringing that into fruition. Just try to, visualize yourself, visualize him, and how rewarding would that be, like I said, to make that a reality. And that conversation, I got goosebumps. It was just it was so crucial to, my pursuit.
Oh no, I think we lost her. Oh no. Okay, I'm hoping she'll come back. Let me let her know that it dropped really quick. Sorry guys. I was like, oh no, I don't hear her anymore. Let me see. When she comes back in, I will bring her back on. And so while she is coming back in, I do want to share really quick, just, a couple of pictures. Like this she did do our photo shoot. And as you can see, I mean, just gorgeous on the inside and out. I'm sure you all can kind of feel her personality and how, calming she sounds, and how peaceful she sounds. She really does have a very warm, friendly spirit. And then this one, I love this image. So this was for advertising some of the prep clinics for the Baltimore Ravens. And Katie, who is the person kind of in the forefront, is one of our lovelies, and she's a graduate of the Pro Cheer Playbook program. And then Jayante, as you can see, is right there behind her. So I just like, oh my God, I love this image, 2 of our lovelies right here in this ad, which is so, so cool. And then just kind of underscoring the importance of, the community, and being able to go to auditions, and being able to have other people there to kind of support you, and just, be there for you, and be in the whole process with you. That in and of itself is just so, it's great to just know that you have other people there that are rooting you on. And so this is a picture of 2 other lovelies that were in her kind of graduating class for the Pro Cheer Playbook program. And they were all at auditions together, which, I think, again, is super cool. Just that we create kind of like those opportunities, right? So that people can come and can, kind of I don't know, just support one another and be there for one another, because it makes it so much easier. I'm telling you, when you have someone and, just people there that can go there with you, or you can sit with during deliberations, all of those things, and that you're not there by yourself. And then this image right here was kind of like her full body image with the photo shoot. And so you'll notice, like with this was one of the colors that we really felt would pop on her skin. So we went with the yellow. And then for her audition attire, we went with the red. Again, another color that pops really good on, brown skin. And she just really, really stood out, in the actual audition process. So hopefully she'll be coming back soon. I don't know where she is. Let me show you all this picture really quick as well, because this one was actually on the Ravens website, which is pretty cool, because or on their social media. And you'll see her actually executing a turn, and it's like almost like perfect form and posture, placement of her leg and everything. Her body looks great. That red just really pops. And so just really cool that she made their social media during auditions as well. So kind of just, giving her some shout out as we're waiting for her to hopefully join us back in. So as a reminder, I do want to open it up for Q&A. So I would love it if you all put your questions in the chat, and go ahead and do that. I do see one question in there, and then obviously when she comes back, we'll be sure to kind of follow up and get her answer all of your questions. So while we're waiting to do that, I'm going to go ahead and start with our workbook, and we're going to get going on the next section here. Okay. So this is part 2 of your mindset makeover. And so, while it is obviously very important to have unwavering faith in yourself and to put forth extraordinary effort, I really do feel that you have to have habits and different tactics and tips and tools that you do on a daily basis to help put you in that state of being ready to move forward and being ready to take action. And, routines that you have that reinforce the faith in yourself. So this first one, kind of filling in the blank here: master your mind, redesign your habits, and ditch your limiting beliefs and old stories, and unleash your confidence. I just think, like, if you have that posted somewhere, it's just so many great reminders just in that statement. So you want to master your mind, which we've already talked about. You want to redesign your habits to be supportive of a positive mindset and of a confident person. And you do that by ditching your limiting beliefs that you've set on yourself and the old stories that you've been telling yourself, so that you can then unleash your confidence. Okay? Because any and everything in life is just a story that you're telling yourself. It's just a limiting belief. So if you think that you can't, that's just a limiting belief that you have. If you don't think you can nail a dumbbell, that's a limiting belief. If you think that you always crack under pressure in front of the judges, a limiting belief. Those are all limiting beliefs and stories that you're telling yourself. And just as you created that original story of negativity and all of that, you can recreate it as well. Okay. So I feel like the best way to kind of get yourself moving is to focus on owning your mornings. Okay. When you own your mornings and dedicate the first part of your day to yourself, to your development, to your betterment, to getting your body moving, to getting yourself in a positive mindset, then the sky is the limit for you. Because when you own your mornings, you own your days. When you own your days, you own your weeks, your months, your quarters, your years, your decades. But it all starts with what you do first thing in the morning, right? So first thing in the morning, when I get out of bed, when my alarm is sounding off in the restroom, because I don't even have the alarm next to me, because therefore I'm not able to snooze, I get up, I make up my bed, I open up my curtains, and then I get going. Right there, sense of accomplishment, because I've made up my bed. Plus it, prohibits me or kind of stops me from getting back in it because I already made it up, right? So first thing, start with action. Start with small wins first thing in the morning. Okay, so now this is another book that I absolutely love, and it's actually by Hal Elrod as well. And actually, I don't have it here with me because I loaned it to Barbara, one of my friends, and then one of our accountability coaches for the Pro Cheer Playbook program that you all will meet on Tuesday. But it's basically it's called Miracle Mornings, right? And so it talks about how to own your mornings and what you can do to own your mornings so that you start your day off the right way. And he talks a lot about the life savers. So SAVERS, savers. So I'm going to go through these really quick so that you know what they are. So the first one, S, is for silence. Okay. So he recommends that first thing in the morning, and I'm going to be completely transparent here. I don't do all of these every single morning. Okay. Some of them I do in the morning, and then some I leave for the evening. So silence is another way of saying meditation, being still, self-hypnosis, just being with yourself, taking deep breaths, paying attention to your breathing, and just being still. Okay. And so with silence, meditation, self-hypnosis, whatever it is, try to schedule that in your morning. If you can't, it's okay. Move it to the evening. So like I said, I normally do my meditation at night, and I have a guided meditation. The A is for affirmations, right? So that positive self-talk, the I am statements, making sure that you start your morning off with something positive. Like as soon as you open your eyes, I am awake, I am alive, I am blessed, I am thankful, I am ready to start my day, I am energized, I am magnificent, I am a pro cheerleader, right? That's one way to incorporate it. When you're brushing your teeth, you can say your affirmations. Part of your journaling, write down your affirmations. I shared with you all the other night that I have my affirmations that come up and remind me every single day of, what I need to focus on. And I have them go off at 8 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m., and then 5 p.m. Okay. Because I want to be reminded of the things that are most important to me and the things that I want to stay focused on for the day. So you can do affirmations. Another great app is affirmation reminders. So you can actually have affirmations pop up on your phone by using this app. So that's another one that you can actually utilize. It's like a little light bulb icon, but you can get that from, literally the app store. Okay. So that's going to be A, is for affirmations. Let's go to the next one. So V is visualization. I know that I already talked about this already, but V is just visualizing and thinking about what it is and seeing and feeling it truly happening already. Okay, so having a goal, having something that you want to accomplish, and then seeing it, like closing your eyes and going through the motions from A to Z, from 1 to 10, on it actually happening. Okay, so that is visualization. Super, super important in really helping yourself accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. When you can see it and your brain like sees it, it doesn't know the difference between reality and it just being something that you are envisioning. Okay, all right, so I see that she is back, so I am going to go over those really quick. Our lifesavers: silence, affirmations, visualization, and then we're going to come back and do the E, the R, and the S in just a second. So let me hide this. And here we go. Awesome. Yay. All right, you're back. How are you?
I'm so sorry about that, y'all. It's always something, like we try to do these great things and there's always some type of interference. I literally just ran across the house to like reset the router and everything. So I apologize. I really do apologize.
It is all right. I assumed it was activity because you had mentioned that you had texted that to me before that you were having some connection issues. No worries at all. So we had left off just with you kind of talking about, the group and then the support and the feedback that you received from one of the program lovelies about kind of just thinking about what your son, just imagine him seeing you as a pro cheerleader and all of that. And it reminded me of that video that you sent me when you were in uniform outside of the Raven Stadium, and he saw you and ran over to you, and literally I started like crying watching that video.
Yeah. That was actually his second game. And actually, it's so crazy because the first time that he came, my parents were able to get seats within the 100s, and they brought him. And we know which, obviously, like, sections we're going to rotate through. So it was the section that we would be in for the second quarter. So Malachi, he's very invested in sports. He's such a boy's boy. So he was already in awe of just the entire experience. They were sending me videos of him like freaking out at the gates and everything. But the moment that he saw me on the field, they brought him down to the barrier, and I was able to talk to him through the gates. And he's such a talkative boy, but he wasn't able to say anything. He was just like awestruck, like, this one up. And he talks about the Ravens. He says a little, oh. He says that he does it frequently anytime he sees like the Ravens logo or anything like that. But that moment specifically was so important to me just because it was so spot on with that visualization that I had in my head. And it was honestly very surreal. But like I said, it felt as good as I imagined it, if not better. And it was just amazing, like I said, to have such a level of insight to that, so early on in the program.
Yeah, well, and I love that too. Like, literally, we just talked about that as part of like your daily routine, your morning routine, is just the importance of visualization. And what's even cooler about that story, like you said, is just it felt even better than you imagined, right? So not only did you visualize it, you saw it, you projected it out into the future, like this is going to happen. But then when it really happened, that's a feeling that you're going to always hold with you, and you'll never forget that feeling. Just from your standpoint, but then also how he felt when he saw you.
Yeah.
So cool. Awesome. So something else that you mentioned that I really want to touch on, because I talk about this a lot in the sense of, if people allow their fears and their doubts and their overwhelm and frustrations and, oh my God, I'm not ready, or I'm not going to be better than this person, or this person's going to be so much better. If you allow all of that chatter to prevent you from going to auditions, then you are giving yourself a no. You are cutting yourself. And I always say, don't cut yourself, allow the judges to cut you. And you talked about when you were at the Miami's auditions that, and I love you used that phrase, that you cut yourself, right? But that was because of the mindset things that were going on. So in hindsight, now that you've been through that, and I'm so glad to hear that you've kind of let that go, because things were supposed to happen that way. You're exactly where you're supposed to be right now. But in looking back at that time period, what advice would you give yourself prior to walking into the doors for that audition?
I would definitely say to always bet on you. You know what I mean? If you go 100% in on you, regardless of how the outcome is with the judges, and you won't have any regrets because you know that you put everything that you could on the table. Whether or not that's what they wanted at the time is an entirely different thing. Yeah. But I think it's important to have that level of self-validation. Like, I'm bringing my best self to the table. I didn't have that at all. Like I said, I winged it a lot, and that's why I was so caught up in my head. But I would just tell myself that I would just basically reassure myself of everything that I'm bringing to the table, and that I would be an asset to this team versus I wonder if they're going to like me. You know what I mean? If you walk in with that level of confidence into auditions throughout the dancing interview process, if you have that level, like I said, of self-validation, that's going to reflect in a lot of different ways. And a lot of times that's what they're looking for. They're not looking for, in any case, a perfect package. They want to see somebody that they can work with in almost every capacity. So like I said, that level of confidence is very important. And that's something that I would reassure to myself, is that you're enough. Now just go show them that you're enough.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. And the thing is, wherever you are at that moment in time is perfect because that's exactly where you're supposed to be at that moment in time.
Exactly.
So just like you said, you're going in, you are enough, just go for it. Like, don't cut yourself, guys. Like if like nothing else, if you take nothing else from today and we give
Don't
you
cut
a whole lot, don't cut yourself.
yourself.
I'm always like, no, like allow the judges to do that. And even if the judges do say no, then it's a learning experience because then you can say, okay, like from that experience, you learned, like, okay, I've got to go in more prepared. I have to make sure that I work on my mindset. You already knew leaving that experience what it was that you were not going to do the next time and what you were going to do. And so you set yourself up for success by joining the Pro Cheer Playbook program, getting the coaching, the advice, and all of the assistance that you needed. And I even remember you going through the audition process and you sending me videos and sending me, pictures and us, kind of going back and forth as far as we'll do this and do that. And that helps with your confidence even more, right? Like, so when like, okay, I have people that will actually help me and give me feedback and give me advice along the way, that's going to help with your confidence and your mindset as well. So talk a little bit about why that is. Like, why is that important when you know that you have a team of people there that if at any moment you have a question, you can get it answered. If at any moment you want feedback, you can get that feedback.
It's just because, like I said earlier, it's a mind game for sure. And even if you're 100% prepared, you still have, a little bit of inhibitions and a little bit of, a semblance of self-doubt, even if you're the most confident. Honestly, I was more prepared for auditions my second season, but for whatever reason, I had, that more self-doubt than I did the first time, but I was able to utilize not only my network that I developed, but also what I learned in keeping myself grounded. But specifically when it comes to having people to reach out to, it plays back into that validation. Like I think literally like day one of auditions, I sent you a video of me doing the tryout dance and Janine was like, "You're gonna make the team." And I was like, oh my God, it was just, I don't know what it was about it, but that was so reassuring to me just because one, I know that you've seen several girls through this program and not only that, but Sammy Jo was my accountability coach at the time. And I was able to touch base with her throughout the audition process. She had several years on the team. And she was able to, give me a step-by-step what to expect. I was able to actually go over my introduction with her, and she was like, "Yeah, definitely say that." I actually threw in a little joke into my intro, and I just ran it by Sammy, like, "Are they gonna hate this?" And she was like, "No, absolutely, 100% say that." And because she was able to kind of validate me, I was able to go in the room and say it and get the response that I was looking for in my, slight little goofiness. But it, like I said, it's just important to have people to validate you when you start to doubt yourself, just to, push you to keep going. Just because in any case, like I said, I can't say that, it's 100% guaranteed that you're not going to have those moments, and to have the right people to, push you through and tell you to keep going when you feel like, I don't know if I can do this. That was very crucial to me by far.
Yeah, I mean, cheerleaders need cheerleaders too, right? Like, that's just it's life. We all need a support system. We all need our tribe, and that's what we try so hard to be for you all. And for me, like when I saw your video, it was I think the first time that I saw everything all at once. And most importantly, I felt and saw the confidence. And I think that you kind of were like, okay, when you put all, because you learn so much in the program, and then you have to put it into practice and actually implement it. And then when you had your hair done, your makeup, this amazing red outfit, and all of these things, I think it also helps you to level up with your performance and how you're showing up.
Yeah.
And so saw all of that for the first time in that video. And yeah, I probably should not have said that, because had you not made the team, I would have felt horrible. Luckily, it all worked out. But that was like the first time that I think I saw it all come out, and mainly through your confidence. So It was great.
Yeah, no, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna cut Janice and I'm gonna make the tea. So it was just a dynamic shift from that point.
Oh, okay. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and shift over to you all's question. So the first one we have here is from Kristen, and she says, when at an audition, what do you tell yourself to not give into the mindset of comparing yourself to others? So I call this compare-itis. So what advice do you have for this?
This is a great question. Honestly, it goes back into what I was saying about you specifically. You know, you have to have that semblance of self that I'm bringing my best self to the table. You know, my best self, I wouldn't even look at it as competition, just because every girl in that room is going to have something that you don't naturally, just because we're all different people. So if you get caught up into that comparativity, you're just doing yourself a disservice just because you're focusing on the wrong things. So like I said, it's just important to know who you are, know what you have, know your, qualities, aspects of yourself, and also know that you're, like I said, bringing your best self to the table, and just focus on that. I was very outside of myself my first year, and I honestly was, in hindsight, was just like, I can't believe how out of my mind I was. I was actually telling girls there's a few girls that I could let you guys know to like validate this if you think I'm lying, but I was literally sitting there telling girls like, yeah, so I learned this during Janine's program, and like, this is why I'm like so chilled right now. And so many girls were like, how do you know all of this? How are you so relaxed and composed? And it's just because all of those tools that I learned throughout the program I was confident in myself, and like I said, that's when you get to the point of, I know that I brought my best package to the table. I don't have any regrets because I know I left everything that I have on that floor. And once you have that sense of self, it's very hard to get distracted, just because you know that you specifically, for whatever reason, you would, I'm sorry, you know where you would fit in on that team. You know what you have, and you don't need to go back into comparing, like, maybe this girl has this edge over me. It's easy to see somebody doing, fouette turns and practicing their aerials and all of that, just because all of that does happen. But once you, remain in that mindset of, I've done what I needed to do to be successful in those auditions, then it just, you put the blinders on, and that's for every round of auditions. And it's very easy kind of to, tune it out. Like, I might not have an aerial, but I know that my kicks touch my nose when I kick my, when I do my little kicks. So it's very easy, but it's absolutely unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean, the wonderful thing about our mind and our thoughts is that we control our thoughts. So when you're in a situation like that and you find yourself focusing on everyone else, then exactly what you're saying, you have to focus back on yourself and focus on what's amazing about you. And I also love that you mentioned that you can leave an audition and you know that you put it all on the floor. And, I've said that before, that yes, a no stings, right? Yes, no one wants to hear no. But the bottom line is you're going to be upset for a little bit, but then you're going to realize, wait a minute, I gave 110%, not just out there today, but in leading up to today. And that's the best feeling, when you can leave an audition knowing that you gave 110%. I also absolutely love that you learned from the program, and then because those things helped you so much, you were willing to share those teachings and those discoveries and those learnings with everyone else, and that they noticed it in you. They noticed the sense of peace and the sense of calm, and then commented on it. So that's like pretty cool.
Yeah. It was pretty, like I said, pretty surreal. And that, I think that's just, try to just validation and proof that you don't have to look at all of these girls as your competition. I have girls that I met day one of auditions that might not have made the team, and technically we were against each other because there's only X amount of spots on the team. but you don't even need to go into auditions with that mindset. And like Janine said, it's just important to put, those blinders on and know how to check yourself. Be a gatekeeper of your own mind, because those thoughts might slip in, but if you're able to, put them in check, like, no, I got this, you'll be fine.
Yeah, definitely. I was trying to look to see if I had my Mel Robbins. Oh yeah, here's my other book that is another good one, the 5-second rule. So with this concept, it's whenever you have a negative thought. So if you're like focusing on other people and like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to make it to the next round. Whenever you have a negative thought or anxiety or anxiousness or any of that starts to creep in, you literally just say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you shift your thoughts to an anchor thought, something positive, something amazing about yourself. Like just making sure that you literally are the gatekeeper of your thoughts. And when you realize that you're slipping and maybe you've let the gate open and some negativity is coming through, you just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and shift to something more positive. So we are all in control of what we think. And so that's the amazing thing about our minds, is that we can control it. And when you control your thoughts, then you control your feelings, because how you feel is directly correlated and connected to your thoughts. It is impossible to think something negative and feel good on the inside. And it works the same way. It's impossible to think positively and think about a positive experience and then feel negative on the inside. So, all right, really quick, let me get to another question and I'm going to let you go. I'm trying not to monopolize your entire Friday night. So this question is, would you advise still going to auditions you don't feel prepared for, or to solely focus on preparing and auditioning later? So what are your thoughts on that one?
I would honestly, it would take a lot of self-evaluation and kind of assessing why you don't feel prepared. If that's you legitimately not being prepared, or if you're just telling yourself that you're not ready, because if you're just telling yourself like maybe next year, like I'll be a little bit more prepared, I'll be a little bit more ready, then I would say don't do it. 100% go for it. Actually, I would say that anyways, just because it's a learning experience regardless. And even if you don't make the team that year, you're going to have a level of insight that you won't have if you don't go through that process. But that first, you don't feel prepared. It just sounds like you're, kind of checking yourself out before you get started. You're cutting yourself. We just said we're not going to do that. So I would actually say in any sense, go for it. There's nothing to be lost from it and so much to be gained. So 100% go for it. Be real with yourself before you go into those auditions. The only thing I would say is if you don't feel prepared, figure out why you don't feel prepared and work on that. But you don't have to wait, a whole other year to put that into application. You can work on it simultaneously with actually pursuing it. So yeah.
Okay, so you're going to be taking my place as a coach here soon, because that is like literally the exact answer I was going to say. I agree 110% in everything that you said. Absolutely, because every single audition that you go to is going to bring you a certain comfort level for the next audition. And so if you go ahead, now, obviously, we don't recommend that you roll out of bed and just show up any old way. Like, you still want to put forth the effort with your appearance, your look, do what you can with your audition outfit and all of that, but still go, because you're going to learn from that experience. And then the next time when you go, you're already going to know a little bit of what to expect, and they're going to be able to see and hopefully remember your improvement and your progress from that first time. And I love that you mentioned, and this is something, guys, that you have to be real with yourself, because this is your mind doing those Jedi mind tricks on you. You're saying you don't feel prepared, but it's actually that you are scared. You are worried that you're going to get cut. And so you're telling yourself, well, I'm not prepared this go round, so maybe I'll just wait till next year. So I love that you brought that up, that it literally could just be a mindset thing that's going on with you, in the sense of your mind is talking yourself out of it. And so you have to notice when your mind is doing that. So A+, A+. Okay, if y'all have any other questions, please put those in the chat. Here's another one. Do you feel that being a veteran from a former NFL team helped you mentally, physically, etiquette for the actual Ravens auditions?
Yes and no. Yes, because I kind of, had my own perception of what I experienced and knew that it would be, transferable skills, so to speak. But every team is different, every team has a different style, every team has a different look that they go for. And even when it comes down to how you practice and train before, during, and throughout the season, everything is different. So even though I didn't go into that audition jaded, just because my 2 years on this team means nothing at this audition, I think that, especially given the fact that between these auditions, I mean, it probably would have if I was going straight from one team to another, but between these auditions, I had a baby, I had a completely, entirely different life shift. So like I said, I had that experience, but my entire rookie season, not just auditions, my entire rookie season was a learning process just because I had to relearn myself in that aspect and also learn my role in the team, if that makes sense. So it was, like I said, it was nice to, be able to say that I've had this experience, but I wouldn't say that anybody who's coming from another team is, has an advantage other than the fact that they've performed before. They might have some performance under their belt, but yeah, like I said, I just treated it like I was auditioning for my rookie season because that's what I was doing. And I didn't think too much, too far into it past that.
Yeah, I mean, that's perfect. I mean, here's the thing too, like it can definitely maybe help from just like a resume standpoint. They see it on there.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. But then it also could kind of raise the bar. Like, oh, well, she was
Yeah.
a former, professional cheerleader. So then they're going to have different expectations for you than they did another. And then, like you mentioned, you might go in a little more confident or cocky about it, because you do have this experience, assuming that you're a shoe-in. And so I agree. I think that it should give you confidence because you know that you do have that experience and it should help you feel better going into the audition experience, but you can't assume that it's going to make a difference from the judge's standpoint for sure. Yeah, I agree completely. So, if you wouldn't mind, like, if you like think about, and I know like the past year has been a little crazy. It hasn't been like a typical year, but just in the regular day in the life of you, what are some just like different mindset things, tactics, tips, or just habits that you utilize on a regular basis to kind of help you just stay in check with your mind and to really help you have a good day, a productive day, get things done, which all kind of leads to your confidence. Because at the end of the day, when you feel good about your day, then that helps your self-esteem and your confidence as well.
Yeah, I have made a really solid habit starting from the program actually of having, daily mantras and affirmations. I actually set reminders on my phone to pop up like at 9:30, at 2 p.m. just because although I've made the team, there's also, and this isn't just for, team life. This is for me as a person. I have, my personal validations. But I do have affirmations that I speak just because, every season you have re-auditions. So got to get back in that mindset. But I do have a lot of mantras that basically, even if I am not feeling doubtful, I have these reminders pop up on my phone to kind of make those thoughts habitual. So that when those, if I'm ever feeling, down, if I'm having a rough day with work, with juggling, so many different things, coronavirus, threw a curveball at everybody. And I think it impacted everybody's mental health in a way that wasn't foreseen just because, life changed for a lot longer than we thought. But one thing that was important to me throughout this process, was just making sure that I'm still put into myself. And like I said, as trying times come, I remember them. I don't need the reminder to remember them, because that, like I said, I've kind of trained my mind into thinking into one sort of way. So for anything, like I said, I have so many, I can't really pinpoint one that I would like to use as an example. But like I said, when you are tried, it's important, like I said, to have those habits in practice, just because you're like, oh no, I know that I'm this, and I know that I'm this every other day, and that doesn't change today because I'm having a bad day, and that instantly, I wouldn't say it's all peaches and roses, and you might think, but just even that slight, mental check makes a world of a difference. And that's something that I learned very, very early on.
Yeah, I mean, that is such a good point, just in the sense of, because when you were off and then we were waiting for you to come back on, I showed them my reminders that I have set on my phone that go off. I have 4 that go off over the course of the day as well. And because now it's a habit, I see it go off and then I just quickly say it 5 times in my head, but it's now a habit. I just know the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. It's a part of who I am. And so one thing that happens, guys, is when you're doing the lifesavers, for example, or you're in, doing these new things because Janine said so, or because you heard it on YouTube, or because you heard it on a podcast, and then you start to feel better every single day. You start to feel better. Stop doing the things that you know that you should be doing to make you feel better, and then you don't feel better anymore. Then you forget, oh, it's probably because I started these new habits. So it's a matter of making these practices a habit so that you always feel good about yourself, always feel good about, how you started your day and how you finished your day. So thank you for sharing that. So y'all, it's not only me that does the reminders. This is something that I definitely recommend to our lovelies. And I just love that you're still doing it, even though you graduated from the program. Oops, can you hear me? Oh no, she may not be able to hear me. Can you hear me? Let me see. I'm going to call her. Can you hear me? Hold on one second, guys. Let me give her a call to see if she can hear me.
Yep. Every day. I said, I can tell you the times that there's. Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah. Can you see me? I can hear you. Hello.
Okay, I think we're good now.
Yeah, I'm hearing you fine. It must be my side, but I can hear you fine.
Okay, perfect. For some reason, it was not coming on my end. Okay, awesome. So I think we're good to go. All right, perfect. So one last question, and then I'm going to let you go so you can enjoy your Friday evening. I kind of close out every single evening with the same question, just in the sense of advice that you would give listeners and viewers that are in the process of auditioning, in this process of trying out for a team. Just what general advice would you give them?
Okay, cool.
Oh, can you hear me? Uh-oh, I think you're gone again. Oh no. All right. Well, I think that we got all of the questions from you all, if I'm not mistaken. I may have missed one or two. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Hey.
Myself so I can answer this.
Okay. So it's okay. I have you on speaker so they can hear you.
Okay. My advice would be to 100% go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it a million times. Like I said, be real with yourself in a sense of just knowing what you need to work on and put real steps into yourself. You can never lose if you're betting on yourself. And make sure that you work hard. These dreams are tangible. You know, we wouldn't be here if there weren't. I'm proof that they're real. You know, just because I didn't think that they were always possible, but you put in the work on yourself, you invest in yourself, and you won't regret it.
Love it. Perfect. I absolutely love that, guys. I mean, hopefully y'all could hear that, but I just love that you mentioned, you know, to have faith in yourself, put your trust in yourself, and that these dreams are tangible and they wouldn't be in your heart if it wasn't possible. So that is awesome. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Really appreciate it. It's so good to see you. And I literally cannot wait to be able to see you in person and give you a hug, and then obviously have you back on for another interview. So thank you again for being here. All right. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, awesome. Yay. Oh my gosh. I just love talking to her. Just because, again, her story is just so inspirational. Just another example of, you know, it's possible for you guys. It really is. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive right in and get to the rest of these savers. So I want to make sure that everyone finishes this out so you know how to own your mornings. So E is for exercise. This is pretty self-explanatory, but you want to do some sort of movement every single morning. It doesn't have to be a 45-minute or an hour workout, even if it's just a 10-minute, like a couple of crunches and push-ups, or just something to kind of get your body moving. Yoga, whatever it is, a HIIT workout, whatever you have time for, try to do it first thing in the morning. We talked about it on Wednesday, but it helps to jumpstart your metabolism, and really, you know, your body's going to be burning calories at a higher rate, longer, faster, all day. And then the endorphins, they make you happier, and it just, you know, gives you energy. R is reading. I don't think I need to explain what this is, but if you have a book, I've given you 2 amazing books that you can grab, the 5-Second Rule, as well as the Miracle Equation. Both of these books are on our Amazon store. That's how, like, how I love these books. Like, that's like how passionate I am about these books, because I really do think they can be game changers for you. And then the other S is scribing. And so this is basically journaling. This is something that I picked up a couple of years ago, and I'm kind of mad that I hadn't been journaling, you know, for many years prior to, but better late than never. But every single morning I will wake up and I will write down the 5 things that I'm grateful for. And then the rest of the page is kind of, I just change it up every single day. It could be, you know, instead of just 5 things I'm grateful for, I could do a whole page of things I'm grateful for, or 5 things I'm grateful for, and then my I am statement, or what my life is going to look like in 5 years, or just a letter to myself, or anything like that. So it doesn't have to be any, you can even Google journaling prompts, and that will give you ideas on different things that you can journal as part of the S. So once again, just as a reminder, silence, affirmations, visualizations, exercise, reading, and then scribing. And so I would recommend, if you can, try to do at least one of these tomorrow. Don't try to do all 5 of them, but pick one at a time to kind of start to implement into your daily routine and into your practice, because it will make a difference, and it will make you feel really good about yourself. So for the play of the day, what we want you to write down, and we will have the post in the Facebook group, in the Prep to Pro Facebook group. Tomorrow morning, I commit to ditching my whatever. So maybe it's ditching your cell phone, or ditching, what I recommend is you ditch your phone. Like, actually, that's what you're supposed to fill in the blank. Ditching my phone. So in other words, what happens is, a lot of people will use this as your alarm, and then once you will snooze, because it's sitting right there. You don't have to get up. You can just continuously hit snooze. So I recommend that if you are going to use this as your alarm, you put it far enough away where you have to get up and turn it off. And then, because that'll help you kind of stay out of bed. But then also you'll start to look at it. And so if you do that, you're crushing your lifesavers first thing in the morning. If you are watching and looking at your emails and Instagram and all of that, you're giving someone else your attention for first thing in the morning, and you deserve your attention. You want your attention to be on you. Don't give anyone else your attention first thing, right? So commit to your morning routine, dedicating that to yourself, instead of making other people's emails, text messages a priority for you. Okay, so ditch your phone. And then number 2, and it could be something different for you. That's what I recommend, ditch your phone. It could be ditching snoozing, like what do you want to stop doing in the morning? And then 2, you're going to commit to doing blank. So maybe it's meditation, the silence. Maybe it's affirmations, visualizations, exercise, reading, scribing. So just put one of those in, okay? So just so you know, this is what the post will look like. Right here, here's your play of the day. So that is what you will basically see in the Facebook group. And we would love for you to go ahead and go in and complete that assignment. Just so you know, let's go ahead and show the, winner for day 5 is Lauren Hunter. So congratulations to Lauren Hunter. You are the winner. You were killing it with your comments. So super excited for you. Make sure you email us at info@sidelineprep.com so that you can grab your prize and all of that good stuff. As a reminder as well, we really want you to join our text community. So be sure, if you can, to join our text community. We want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of that good stuff, so that you can stay connected to us. Follow us on IG and all of that. So here's the information to join our text community. Also, don't forget that we do have bonus sessions on Monday and Tuesday. Monday, Jesse is joining us. And then on Tuesday, we have 2 of our coaches that are going to be joining us as well. So very excited about that. Giante says, I'm so sorry for the technical difficulties. We don't care. We were able to see her and understand her, and we just roll with the punches because that's what you have to do in life anyway. All right. Well, that is it, guys. Happy Friday. Thanks so much for staying on. I'm so late this Friday evening. Obviously, do your homework, be engaged, utilize us as much as you possibly can for feedback over the course of this week and into next week, Monday and Tuesday. We'll still be giving away some prizes, some surprise bonuses and all that stuff next week. So continue to share on social media. All you have to do is tag us at Sideline Prep and then use hashtag SP Pro Cheer Challenge. And then don't forget, make sure that you go ahead and apply for the Pro Cheer Playbook program. We are really excited to kick things off, obviously, coming up here very, very soon. Just as a reminder, if you have been joining us, then all you have to do is let us know in the application, and you will not have to you'll basically be bypassed and you'll skip to the next round, which is that get to know you call with us. So be sure to apply for the program. We can't wait to help you go pro. That's what we're here for. We've done it with, hundreds of our lovelies. We have over a 70% success rate and that 100% satisfaction guarantee. It just literally doesn't get any better than that. All right. Well, everyone, have a happy Friday, and I will talk to you all soon. I'm Janine Samuel, signing off for Sideline Prep and all of our Sideline Prep coaches, wishing you success in all that you do. Make it a great evening and have a wonderful